profit from whose effort, and who is doing more of that effort? And is that effort essential? And if it is essential effort by another party and not you, then you might have failed that leg of the Howey test.
Richard,
it's actually SEC v. Glenn Turner covers that. SEC v. Glenn Turner wrote that.
For the Hex smart contract.
A developer.
Did you hire that developer?
So I mean, look, we can go down, debate Howey, and we've done that on this show a lot of times.
Why don't we just decide whether Hex is a security or not? It's very simple. I think it's not. You guys think it is, but I know more about it than you do. I know more about Hex than you do. I'm sure you know more about the law than I do. So, I know more about Hex than you do. You know more about the law.
And that's what I want to ask about, right? We've been going down back and forth about this, how he says.
This is important stuff, right? Everyone that's listening to this might want to start their own cryptocurrency. And I'm the guy out there breaking my balls, finding ways to do things that haven't been done before, and pushing the limit to get freedom back to the humans, and pushing the limit to get responsibility back to the humans.
Hold on just a second.
Been done before.
Let me get a couple questions in. So you started out with saying we should treat new offerings with the assumption that there's.
I'm not going to accept your language, bro. Offering? What are you talking about? Offering?
I had to change some stuff.
You realize it's leading language, right? You realize there's a very restricted number of places in the world where that word exists. Don't use that word. Ain't no one ever used the word offering in cryptocurrency ever until ICOs arrived.
That new projects are a scam. Now,
usually, yeah. Crypto.
Okay, so we're trying to find out what the real economics of your project are.
Also irrelevant.
Questions that
I don't understand why you guys think you can appeal to market demand to deem something a security or not. Also,
I'm not talking about securities law. I'm trying to find out more about your project. What I don't understand about your project.
Sure.
I don't give a shit about securities laws.
So you think something people just lost $2 million of value to interact with has no demand, is what you think, right?
What I'm asking you is I'm trying to get you to answer a question, and you're not answering the question. So the question is going to be this. The first question is who owns the Ethereum that is being used to purchase the Hex tokens? That's the first one, because a credible answer to that would give some color to the people who are in the marketplace trying to decide whether they want to invest in your project or not. So what's going to be happening with the Ethereum?
The amount that you don't understand things is shocking to me. So
then explain
first, you say invest in my project. Can you explain to me how you running software that you chose to run on your computer is my project?
Hold on. Because Tone's got a website up here that says how to use Hex, and this comes off of hex.win.
No, I don't know where this.
No, that is a fucking so. First of all, you guys read an email from a spammer who jobbed me and put my social security number and address in a fucking email to cause idiots like you to cause me harm. So a real spammer that really spammed my social security number and my home address and my phone number to attack me. You guys now 20 years later are doing his work for him. That stupid email with
well, wait a minute, let's go back.
Email the girl brought up.
We get an answer to the question: who owns the Ethereum? That particular Ethereum address.
What Ethereum address are you talking about? You have to speak specifically.
Let's see. It's right on.
The one that's on the homepage at hex.win?
Yeah.
I don't tell you who owns that on purpose. I don't want you to know who owns it.
Okay.
There's no reason for you to know who owns that. As a matter of fact, there's a great reason for you to not know who owns that. Right?
Okay. What's that great reason?
Howey test. 4 legs. Are you investing money into a common pool? I'm going to argue it, but let's say it's a weak leg for fun. Okay. All right. So what's the next leg? Expectation of profit. I tell you that you're going to get a return mathematically from the software that you're running because that's what the code does. I'm describing the software to you. In this software, if you have some Hex and you lock it up and then you run the end stake function and you don't have any penalties, you're going to have more Hex than you started with. I'm describing the operation of a piece of software that you are running with your money and your hardware, and that no one else in the world can mint your coins for you but you, and no one else in the world could pay you a profit on those coins but you.
Richard, you convinced me. You convinced me. All right. I'm going to send. I want some Hex. All right.
Cool.
But
great.
I'm a fucking moron because, as you've told me, I'm just an idiot lawyer that doesn't know a goddamn thing.
No, I said you were smarter than me. Sounds opposite, but okay.
So here's the thing. I want to do this. Talk me through it.
Sure.
How long does it take me to get some Hex? What do I need to do? I need to have some Ethereum.
There's 3 ways to get it.
Right? And then once I have that Ethereum or Bitcoin.
You don't actually have to have Ethereum.
Okay. Well, on the front page of your website here, you've got an official hex address. Is that where I'm going to be sending my Ethereum to when I fill out the ERC20 contract? Is that what I'm doing?
Not really. So you can't send money to the contract. You just lose it.
I'm wondering if
it doesn't give you any benefit whatsoever.
Okay.
So you should never ever send.
I wonder if Tone and friends would be calling him a scammer if they didn't have beef. Like if
don't send Ethereum to the address that you have listed.
Unless you want to donate it.
Gotta go through the portal that Richard built to do it.
Okay, so if I'm
it's not true either.
Dumbass, if I'm the dumbass that I am, right? And I'm
why do you keep lowering the bar for you, man? Have a normal bar.
Listen, I'm just following the troll box. They all
think you passed the bar. Wow. Listen, don't listen to the troll box, bro. Never read that shit. It's
so when I say I'm the fucking moron, just assume that I am playing the hypothetical.
I've seen you win crypto lawsuit cases and defend high profile people. I know you're not that stupid.
When I say I am stupid, I'm wanting you to assume that I am the average Joe Kmart guy that's out there.
I get it.
I go to your webpage and I see this Ethereum address.
Yes.
And,
I haven't bought
there's nothing on here that says
I don't know.
Don't send Ethereum to that address. But you just told me if I sent Ethereum to that address, I'd lose it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't get any hex in return.
If you want to click the disclaimer. Yeah, I talk about it in video, and it was on the website yesterday, but you only have so much space in the very top of your homepage.
So why would you put that address there?
Are you kidding? To do the opposite of what you're accusing me of.
No.
When you launch a new project in crypto, scammers appear to get you to send them Ethereum to their addresses, pretending that they're you.
Oh, I don't.
And the
I don't disagree,
only way that you can stop them from fucking scamming everyone is to be very, very loud about what the right address is, and not let them fall for the wrong ones. Yeah. And I work harder than
now?
that.
Can you hear me okay now?
Like, so that 14-year-old that's in some like weird country somewhere, maybe North Korea, that just got informed on how to, got some information on how to exchange funds or maybe launder.
What about now? Can you hear them okay? Hear me okay?
Come on here, and they're not going to necessarily have that. But to answer William's question, that address, William's question was that address. If somebody sends Ethereum to that,
they lose it, and they get nothing in return.
Yeah, but who
so
gets it?
I'll lay you. You don't get to know.
Okay, so
let me put
that's where, and this is why I'm kind of netting this out, is that's where when you get into a legal discussion about potential fraud, and I'm not saying it's a security, I'm just saying potential fraud.
Jason,
I swear I had higher respect for you guys as lawyers before this conversation.
Jason,
I'm more than happy to pass this out with you and educate you.
No, Jason, that's a minor technicality. I actually want you to go to go.hex.win, which is a clickable link right at the top. It takes you to this page. I don't have MetaMask because I don't have any Ethereum, but you can do it and you can buy some Hex. I would love to have you do that.
Listen, I'm not trying to make a donation to Richard's pocket today.
How about I just explain to you how it works? How about, see, here's what you guys are trying to do, right? You have an idea of what will cause me to fail, right? And you're trying to craft all of your questions and all of your language around getting me to fall into your pitfall, right? There's another way to do this shit, which is quicker and easier, and you could still win if you're right.
I mean, actually, Richard, we're trying to understand, and these are things.
It's super easy. It's so easy to understand. In Bitcoin, miners mint their own coins. They are not given a fucking offering. They're not given a prospectus. They're not handed their coins by anyone.
Do you use a mining pool? Do you use a mining pool?
No.
Do you think other people who mine Bitcoin use a mining pool?
Probably, sure.
Great. Yeah. Well, using a mining pool, if you read Howie, using a mining pool is like Howie.
I hate the Howie test. I hate that word Howie. I hate the Howie test. I hate that.
So he had a unique, novel legal idea that probably he's one of few guys to have, and he advertised it. And I respect that shit. I respect that. And I do the same thing, right? So I say things like Bitcoin used to be a peer-to-peer currency because everyone could mine and then transact what they mined. But now that a human being can no longer mine a Bitcoin by himself,
So I want to know why they're calling him a scam. So far, their argument, and I started this video late, like I just came in here live. Their argument is that it kind of fails the Howey test, but that doesn't make it a scam. They're trying to say just because he's not like a registered security that it's a scam, and so I disagree with that. I want to hear more on why these attorneys, Antone, are saying it is a scam and that he's defrauding people. If it fails if he didn't just register some paperwork, he didn't register, okay, but like that doesn't make him a scam. That's what I want to hear.
So you're saying, and just help.
I might type that in their live chat actually.
So someone who wants to obtain hex launches the client software on their computer.
Just so that you know, you're not obtaining it. You're minting it. I mean, I guess you could buy it from someone else, and then you're
fine. I mean, I really don't want to get caught up in semantics because
it's not semantics. It is the legal core of the issue, which you seem to be oblivious.
I'm not trying.
It is a leg of the Howey test.
I'm not talking about the fucking
sole effort.
What I'm trying to find out is you're saying that no one purchases hex by contributing Ethereum to that Ethereum address, and you're saying.
You are minting your own coins,
and I'm not following.
Just like Bitcoin miners mint their own coins. You're doing it to different network rules.
So what's the purpose then of sending?
Hold on. There's actually no minting going on, right?
Yes, there is. No coins exist unless they mint them.
Okay, let me back this up because you keep saying like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a proof of work algorithm.
Yeah,
right?
This is a hybrid proof of work, proof of stake algorithm where it uses proof of work for transactions and it uses proof of stake for inflation.
Okay, but what chain is doing the proof of work?
Ethereum.
Okay, so you're relying on the Ethereum chain in order to mint hex for you?
That's not really how that works.
Okay, because you keep saying minting, right?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Whoops. I didn't mean it.
So what's doing the minting? Proof of work or proof of stake? This matters.
You have to have both. It's both. You have to have both. You can't have just one. You have to have both. It's a hybrid. I don't. Bitcoin miners mint their own rewards, right? They do that, right? No one hands them the rewards. They mint their own coins, right? Yes, they do. Okay. So let me make an analogy for you. It might make it simple for you to understand. You could draw a picture of a pony, right? And then you could go to your friend and you go, you know what? I want to draw a picture of a starfish. And you and your friend can make an agreement that you wouldn't draw any starfish photos unless you drew a horse photo for that guy over there. And you drew a horse and you handed it to that guy, and he drew a horse and he handed it to the guy. And he said, okay, now we're allowed to draw starfish now. Okay, let's do it.
It's kind of hard to watch, I'm not going to lie.
It's just like when you go to a charity ball, right?
I'm bored already.
You get to sit at the ball, not because you paid for your seat, but because you gave away some money to some other thing, right? Like this assumption that there has to be a bi-directional thing excludes, a lot of other relationships human beings and entities have, right? We have tripartite systems. We have all types of spreading of things.
I might
right?
do a chat donate. Yeah, I'm bored too. Like they're not talking about. I want to know why they're saying.
You asked me a question, which I would also argue. Who owns the address? You can't own an address, bro. You can have possession of the keys, and you could mistakenly think that you're the only guy with possession of those keys. But in reality, you have no idea how many other people have possession of those keys. Your random number generator that generated your key could have been weak, and every other script kiddie in the world already has a copy of your key. Or you could have been evil maid attacked when you went out to lunch, and you got cold boot attacked in your hard drive. I could give you 100 ways that other people have your keys, but you think you're the only guy that has them.
I'm not the lawyer, but is your defense or this address could be hacked, or you don't know how many people? Who's supposed to
listen?
The coins. Let's not talk about the address. Who is supposed to have access to the coins in this address? I think is the right way to phrase the question.
If you knew who may have the ability to spend, then you would know who you may have an ability to have an expectation from. Then you may somehow get it into your stupid head to help violate a leg of Howey. And to help you be less stupid, I make sure that you can't have expectations because you're promised nothing. The thing already works and it's on the blockchain. You can use it as you wish. You mine your own coins. You choose what contract address to run. You do whatever you want. Easy, right?
I think everyone's lost right now because we're literally talking in circles about nothing.
This is a security, and I want to think I gave someone money and now they owe me something. Nope, you don't get any of that. You don't know who has the keys. You don't know if it's a human. You don't know if the keys exist.
People have an expectation that they're going to get something because in exchange for the Ethereum, the contract is spitting out hex, right? And I'm looking on
they are minting their own hex when they run the contract.
Fair enough. I mean, look, if you think that these semantics matter under the law, they don't. The way that you put it, that it's your client software on your computer, it makes a difference. It doesn't.
It does.
So that's fine. You can dice these words as
it
small
does, and
as
you're
you
wrong.
like, but
And
it doesn't
I could
have
go
any,
look up legal
it doesn't
court
have
cases
any,
which show you
impact
that if you
towards.
perform work, it stops being a security, which is
That's
why
not
they
correct.
make things.
That's
In
not
some
correct.
cases it
So
is.
what I'm seeing,
In some
what I'm
cases
seeing
it
here from
is.
the homepage is that there's no you're not actually buying hex, is what
Nope.
you're saying. That
No, you're not.
Is that
you're
Ethereum
not.
is going to the address, and then the
Yep.
smart contract is.
What's the price of hex right now? Is the price going up of these people buying hex? What did it start out as, and what is it now? I would like to know.
So, and then you get some percentage of the total of hex that is minted that day. And every day there's a certain amount of hex that is going to be minted, regardless of the number of people that send Ethereum to this contract address, right?
If no one,
Good
if
question
no one
about the
ever
lottery
sends an
ticket.
Ethereum to the contract address, the software still works. You can still use it as you wish. It doesn't.
Tone, how much Ethereum's in that address right now?
Sure, I'm showing it right now. This is the actual address. I just did a search for it. The other one was the smart contract address. This is the Ethereum address. There is 12,000 Ethereum.
Great. Okay, so here's my question.
There's at least
almost $2 million. Almost.
No, there's more than 2 million because I think when I last looked, it was like 14,000. And this is
so
not even day one.
So Richard, it's a blockchain CD.
2 mil, damn.
What's the maturity date for the security deposit? I want to cash in my CD.
Well, you choose it. It's totally variable. It's up to you. It's
great.
It uses.
So when I go to get my Ethereum out of it, the smart contract is programmed to send the Ethereum that I've placed in your control, or excuse me, the smart contract's control. Do I get Ethereum out of it, or do I get hex out?
Lord, no, you don't. You're not going to get any Ethereum back.
I get hexed out.
You know, I must say, I actually wish if that's what the price is. If the price of hex is 1 billion divided by the ETH, then damn, I should have bought some. Yes, I am short right now, but I'm not planning on staying in it for long. I'm just looking to scalp it.
Stay with me here, okay?
Okay. All right.
All right. So
I understand how the system works. You don't. I'm trying to help you understand.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I'm a moron.
You could just read the code.
Get there.
It's public and verified.
Sure, I could, but
Okay.
You're taking the time to come on here and explain this. What I'm trying to say is that at maturity date that I decide through the contract,
Sure,
doesn't give me Ethereum. It gives me hex, right?
Yes. Correct.
So
I'm looking to exit like
72.75.
Probably just take the shorter in the 72.70.
I'm not really working with any. I say that it'll list on Ether Delta because anyone can choose to copy and paste the address there.
Sure, absolutely.
And I've never even been there and used it. I'm just telling you what everyone has told me, so I'm taking it as true. I've never even been on the site. Same with Fork Delta. I hear it's the same thing. And there's another exchange called BuyDesk that says they're listing it.
Okay.
And there's another guy. There's actually 2 other parties that have reached out to me say that they want to list it as well. So there's one in Canada, and then there's another one, IDEX, that's 50% of Ethereum volume, said that they wanted to list it too. So so it seems like, so let me explain what I think you guys are trying to do for the audience's sake, right? They can't screw Hex over on the Hex is doing more work than the person, therefore Hex is a security and has control and all that shit, right? They kind of failed in that. So now they're going to rotate and they're going to pivot, they're gonna be like, well, okay, let's see if we can get them on like
by the way,
investment contract fraud.
I don't agree with
shit,
you on
right?
I don't agree with you on that statement. I just want to make sure that you know
that you think you could get me. Okay, is that the idea?
Yeah, based on everything that you've said today. And
I'm sure you do think that.
Well,
but you were also the guy advertising profit as a leg of the Howey test. It's profit from whom? And it's a big difference.
Why is this guy in an empty room?
Under the expectations of profit, under the management
solely
and control.
From the work of a
here's
third
the
party.
thing, and this is the problem, Richard, is that you've read one tiny little thing off of a Wikipedia page, and you've forgotten that there's 80 years, there's 80 years of jurisprudence that go beyond Howey. And just looking at the Howey test will not explain to you the 80 years beyond. Well, so
then why are you guys saying it's a scam? Because the Howey test leg. That's what I would say if I was Richard.
Okay,
say then why are you using the Howey test leg trying to call me a scammer?
What the audience wants to hear is the details of the Howey test.
Well, they should, because this is a difference between them having freedom and not. This is a cryptocurrency show about a niche product, which has very few followers, like we all do. We care about these little weird things. We do actually care about these things. This is the difference between what, going to jail or not, right? Like this shit's kind of important.
Let me break this down for you and summarize everything that I've heard you say, okay? You hired a developer to write the smart contract.
Yep.
Great. So you are the person that created it, as which you are the person that if somebody, somebody uses your software, you have caused it to come into creation. You are the head of it. You are the person that's out there. Did you set up the website? So what I'm talking about.
You're going to arrest Ford Company for when people rob banks, right? Is the angle here?
Listen, man, you need to just be quiet for a second. I'm going to try to keep you out of jail like I tried to keep Charlie Shrem out of jail, okay? So why don't you just spend 2 seconds and let me help you. I'm talking about the second time when he was with Main Street.
That's right.
I'm listening, man. I'm being quiet.
No. The fact is, Richard, I think you came on because a bunch of people were telling you this was happening.
You're guys were lying and saying things that are not true.
No. Hey,
I am tired.
Look, here's the thing. If you don't want to be the guy that becomes the target for people when this all goes wrong, if it goes wrong, and if you don't want to be the guy that the regulator comes after, stop wearing a Hex t-shirt, stop pumping it, stop saying that you've done all this stuff, and back away. Otherwise, you are the guy that they are listening to. You are promoting it. Yeah. And if you knew anything, and if you talked to anybody, they would have told you to not be the guy out front. Right. But you're the guy out front. So one, they're relying on you, and they're relying on your statement, relying on the stuff that you're doing out there in order to try to make it profitable. So there is reliance, and that's management and control of others.
I have never spent a single dollar marketing this thing ever.
Oh,
at all.
Really?
None.
Where'd the website come from?
I built it. I wrote it.
So you don't pay domain fees on that?
Well, yeah.
You didn't pay the developer in order to develop the ERC-20.
That's not marketing.
Great. So you have put money into it, and that doesn't really matter. The point is, you are the guy out there pumping it and selling it. So you're the guy.
So your legal argument now, your earliest illegal argument was appeal to there's no market for this, and now it's appeal to I have a high risk profile. Neither of these are relevant, and you're basically full of non sequiturs. None of the things you're saying are relevant to the
I am breaking down the Howey test and its progeny, and this is why I was telling you how you are going to either get a cease and desist order.
Great. And then I'll cease and desist. But I'm not going to preemptively, I'm not going to be a really smart guy and read the law and put a lot of effort into it and do the best job I can as a human being, to be thoughtful and considerate and build a new innovative product that actually
fills a niche. This isn't a new innovative product. This is
tell me the other blockchain CD.
Look, you're calling it a blockchain CD.
Yeah.
But
it monetizes the time value of money. It's the only cryptocurrency I'm aware of that pays you more for locking longer.
Look, it's just some like 10th grade economics project of how I can create that. Well, you've been throwing some disparaging comments to the people that are here.
I'm talking about the law. You're talking about me.
Okay. No, you listen, man. Your economic theories behind this are sophomoric at best.
It is irrelevant.
You haven't
sophomoric.
Anything new. You've created a vending machine.
100% wrong.
You've created a vending machine where I put $1.
I'm gonna tell that to the next. I'm gonna tell that to one of my bitches, baby. You're sophomoric at best.
That I can't sell for shit anywhere, and you're going to say that by
So,
Oh, you can get 10,000 of them, and you're not. You can't be trusted with your own money. Trust my software to do that.
do you know how
don't
much
think
Dogecoin is
that
worth?
creates that?
Do you know how much Dogecoin's worth?
God.
Do you know what Dogecoin's market cap is? It's $250 million.
Gosh. Yeah.
It has less features than we've got.
Do you know why Dogecoin is worth that?
I wanna
Probably I have ideas, but probably not like in
guys,
reality.
guys,
I'm
okay.
not sure it's determinable.
Jason, okay.
I'm done.
I'm having after you, my audience, they're not happy with all the screaming thing. Richard, I'm gonna ask you some very calm questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Because I do want to go through each of the parts. I mean, like I said 3 parts because I kind of always combine the last 2 into one. But I guess they are different. All right. So let's go through those. Let's go through those 4 parts. Okay. So it's which we're doing in order, right? Okay. So you're saying that in this case, this is not. Is this an investment of money or not? Part 1.
I think it would be one of the weaker legs. You'd argue it, and you'd have your lawyer fight the fight, but I think the other legs are stronger.
Jason,
Tone, you worded it wrong. It's not an investment of money. It's the giving of money.
Giving of money. Fine. It's the giving of money, and as we thank you, Jason, and as we completely talked about in the case of Bruce Fenton and Ravencoin, the giving of money could be seen as effort and put in like the roadshow and writing the white paper and building a domain and investing in the domain, investing in the domain, right?
But Tone, unlike Ravencoin, people actually are giving something here. They're giving Ethereum.
Right. So here's the thing, right? In order for people to collect hex, sure, you could collect.
You can't
hex.
collect it. You mint your own.
Fine. You
I don't know why this is so hard for you to get.
Fine, Richard. Fine. You mint your own hex by either using your own Bitcoin, which probably doesn't really cost you anything as an airdrop. But
no, it's not a goddamn airdrop.
So people just magically that have Bitcoin get hex.
That was the nerdiest thing on this. It's not an airdrop. That was such crypto nerd shit. This is okay. We're getting somewhere.
That's all this shit is.
Digging for entertainment here. We're digging for entertainment.
Okay, so
that's all it is.
So let's back down here for a second.
It's not an airdrop.
Let's say I've got
mint your tokens.
X number of Bitcoin. Your website, the way that I've read it, correct me if I'm wrong, your website says that I'm entitled to a certain amount of hex just for holding that Bitcoin. Is that correct?
But it's similar. No, it's close. If you held Bitcoin at the snapshot block, then you can generate a cryptographic signature from your Bitcoin private key in a wallet that supports that feature, or you can do it by hand if you're really smart. And that allows you to prove that you hold that Bitcoin at that block height, right? So the signature proves you hold the Bitcoin. And then we have a Merkle top hash, otherwise known as a Merkle root, of the entire UTXO set of the Bitcoin blockchain. And then you make a Merkle path that proves that your signature held those coins at that snapshot. And then the contract says, cool, well then, I guess you should mint yourself some coins, because by the rules that you've chosen to run on your own software, your own computer, running your own block, or choosing to pay someone else to run your software that you chose to run with the rules that you chose at the address
he
that
should
you
be
chose,
holding one of his candles pointing
well,
to
then,
say that
go ahead,
should be
make
holding
yourself
one of his
as many
candles.
pictures of ponies as you want. Oh, you want some numbers? You want numbers? Here we have numbers. Go make your numbers.
Is it a picture of a pony or is it a hex?
Well, I mean, technically all a hex is a mapping into an Ethereum address, which is the reason that I use the word transform. Because you put Ethereum in and you get Ethereum back, but it doesn't have the Ethereum ticker.
You've got a profit calculator on your website, right?
I don't. That's somebody else's website, but I do link to it.
Okay, when the ERC20 contract, based on a certain amount of Ethereum or Bitcoin that's put in there, there's a certain amount of ERC20 tokens that are generated over time or in the instance, and those things are referred to as hex, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's, and then they're broken down into.
I don't get why we're even talking about the Howey test. If you're calling someone a scam, whether it falls in the Howey test jurisdiction or not doesn't matter. If someone's scamming, that means they're trying to fraud you and screw you over. It does not a scam doesn't just mean, hey, this isn't registered. Scam is, hey, this guy's trying to screw you. That's what I want these guys. That's what the title of their stream was. That's what I want to hear. Is why they think he's actually scamming people, or it is a scam with intent. It's not a registered security. This is bullshit.
A computer-controlled network based on
It's a
mathematical
hybrid.
I'm
principles
bored with
and rule
this.
sets, right?
It's a hybrid. You don't
Yeah.
know that you need to start using the social function until the software alerts you to some other type of failure.
Actually a good
right?
idea,
Like,
And
Robert.
that's
block's
still
too big.
software controlled, right? Which is
Which
based
part?
on mathematical principles. I mean, I can do this all day, Richard. You can try to dance around
There's
all of
there's
these little
only
things,
two
but
legs
at
that I
the-
care about. Who is doing more work? You or me? You are.
You are. No, you
You
are,
are.
actually.
You are.
Without
Right?
your
Can I
software,
mint
there's
your
no
rewards?
ability to do it.
Yeah, and without Microsoft, there's no ability to do it, and without Intel, there's no ability to do it.
No.
That's
no,
not
this
how
is
it works.
different. Because Microsoft doesn't create a unit of value that you are attempting to have or intend to have other people believe is going to be worth value later.
You
on.
understand private currencies are legal, right? You know that,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then what is the difference between a private currency and this? Or better
Because
yet, what is the
private
difference between
currency-
Bitcoin and this? Like, if I said Bitcoin wasn't a security, would you argue that it was?
So I've made both arguments because I like to do an all law review of the securities law. All right.
Well, look, man, if you come from that perspective, right, that Bitcoin's a security, then you don't even agree with the head of the SEC that believes it's not. Now, you might be right, and he might be wrong.
Richard, let's go back to 2014.
Oh God, I hate
Case
how he
called
said.
SEC v. Shavers.
Yeah, which you defended the guy.
Yeah, and it's that case where the SEC admitted on the record that Bitcoin as Bitcoin was not a security.
Cool. Good job.
Okay.
I'm not on any side. I'm not a supporter nor a non-supporter. I'm just, I don't own any hex. I have any opinion on it. I'm benign on this subject.
Right. So the point
I'm
being,
just trying to
and this was the argument that I was making, is if something can go from being
see
a
what these
security
guys
to
are
Yeah, it can
not a
go backwards. I
security,
agree. Sure.
it can go backwards. And
I agree.
so today there's a tendency for it to go backwards. That's what I'm talking about.
Look,
And,
I
and now
agree
we
with
have
you on
common
that.
ground, right?
So yeah, look, my position.
This attorney guy reminds me of someone, and I tell you what, I'm gonna give $100 in Bitcoin if someone can guess who this blonde guy reminds me of. Who does he remind me of? You get $100 if you guess it in chat. If no one gets it, I might give some clues.
Because you keep jumping from topic to topic, and I don't know if that's intentional or because you're tired. And
I'm happy to go back to the other topics.
$100 if
Let's
you
go back
guess
to the topics. Let's wrap them up.
Bill, go
Will
ahead.
you talk about how it's intended to create scarcity? Is that through the
Yes.
locking up of the token
Yes.
in the contract?
The tokens aren't locked up; they're burnt.
Okay.
The
This
hex
shit was-
tokens are burnt.
yes.
Which
When
tokens
you-
are burned?
The
when
hex
you-
tokens are burnt.
When you stake,
It's a
you're
YouTuber. I'll give
actually
you
burning
a
tokens.
hint.
What?
He reminds me of a YouTuber.
Okay, but then the people get.
Yeah, you got it, Sofa.
More
You
of
got
this
it. You
when
got it,
thinking
bro.
vote.
You
Correct.
got it, Sofa
right.
King.
And
You
know
got it.
why
It
I
reminds
think
me of
that's a good idea?
PJ3.
Because it removes issues of custody.
Oh,
So this shit
fucking
has
Sofa
thought
King.
in it.
Sofa.
I'm
You
showing
got
the
it, bro.
corporate
You
and
got
the-
it. That clue was
People
too
open up their eyes.
good.
Man, that's actually, if we make them do all the work, well, then it can't be security because they're doing.
Send
the
me
majority of
what's
the
your
work.
Bitcoin
Even if you fail every other leg of the high test, you only have to not have one of them, right?
No,
address?
that's not correct.
Okay. Well,
You got
film it.
$100 bucks coming
because
your way.
there's another arm of that that's held in different jurisdictions that colloquially is called the family resemblance test. So
This
if
is
it
new
looks
to
like
me,
a
but
duck
I'm
quacks like a
listening.
duck. Well, there's been 80 years of securities law, and it's not just the federal law. There's state law as well, and every state has their own interpretation of what an investment contract is. It's not just about how.
Well, I hope that the people that are choosing to run this software are doing it within the confines of the law. I really hope that they're doing that. But I can't control who runs the
Just
software.
Sofa, post it in the
Except
chat.
You've provided the software to the public, and you've claimed that, or you've put up an Ethernet address on your website, and you refuse to.
He looks
say
just
who has
like him.
control of that because you think that is going to absolve you from
skinnier
people having
version.
some
Not absolved,
expectation
but
of
Oh my
somebody.
gosh, they
So-
kind of
Yeah,
it
act the
helps.
same way too.
Do you know how
Actually, it
much?
hurts
Do you know how much
more.
more? Do you know how much more money the contract would generate if promises were being made? Do you know how
Other
much
than
larger the
10,000
numbers would
times
be?
profits? Other than, as you said in your own
No, if-
broadcast, you have to pump it like a Ponzi scheme.
You have to advertise it in the same method that they advertise, by
pumping.
offering a cryptocurrency that shows percentage gains. They offer their percentage gains fraudulently in USD, lying about the business they do. And in Hex, we describe to you the design of the software.
And you don't think it's lying when you post an Ethereum address for a contract but refuse to tell people who controls it? That's called specific withholding of material information because you're refusing to tell these people where the money's going.
So when you go to the flea market and you buy a hat from somebody, right, like a sombrero, you get to beat that guy's ass and KYC AML him, right? Nope, that's not the way the real works, dude. Right? If you go to a website and it says, if you go to a website,
not gonna change anything.
Listen.
You think
you go to a
you think
website
by
and
it being anonymous that it's going to absolve you from?
I don't think that's
No, I
the
needed
result.
that message from Sofa King. I need Sofa King's address.
OFAC sanctions list that it's going to
Listen,
protect you
Sofa,
from
resend it
regulatory
for me.
scrutiny?
When you run software on your computer, I can't stop you. I don't even know you're doing it. So you tell me exactly what I'm supposed to do.
It's all good.
What am I supposed to do, buddy? What am I going to do? I'm not shipping you the software. I don't know your address. I don't know who you are. There's a piece of software that lives on the blockchain. You can choose to
Abraham,
run
you
it or
didn't
not.
win, bro. It's the Sofa
It's your
King.
software. You run it or not. I don't control it. It just sits there inert. If no one uses it, it just sits there and just sits. It's just information.
But
order
it's
for
not
it to
sitting
run-
there. It's not sitting there because you've got over $2 million worth of Ethereum right now, generated by.
How does
your
that have anything to do with
software.
what the contract does? The contract runs fine without that. Whether it's there or not, it has no effect on the contract.
I'm sorry, you're
I-
going to have to explain that to me.
If you send
I can't
no
run
Ethereum
the
to the
software
contract,
that you paid for. I can't run the software that you paid for without either having Bitcoin at some certain date timestamp, right?
that's not true. You can
Or-
mine your own blocks. You can mine your own blocks. You can mine your own blocks. If you choose to pay someone else to do your work for you, that's between you and them, and I don't have anything to do with it.
So
Nothing.
I can acquire a Hex ERC20 contract and start mining it without putting any Ethereum or Bitcoin or proof of Bitcoin
No,
into
it doesn't. You can only, the transactions are Ethereum
I have
blocks.
to get going here, so I'm
So
not
it's
gonna
a
lie,
hybrid.
guys.
If you want to inflate or create Hex, you must have an Ethereum block that has proof of work.
But I
for the
only have
security.
to I only have to go handle one errand, and it shouldn't take me more than like 40 minutes. But I gotta go here soon. But I bet these guys will still be talking when I get back.
Yes, you
just said I
can
can-
mine your own transaction.
No, I
can
want to
mine
mine.
your own
I want to
transaction.
mine my own Hex without having to deposit.
If you want to do
Ethereum or
that, you need to
Bitcoin.
refer somebody, and then you can generate Hex for free.
Wait, whoa.
Or
So, but they need to send money in
Yes.
order to do that. Okay, well,
Yep.
heads up. That right there is
Mhm.
what the SEC finally decided Glenn Turner was an investment contract. So you need to go read that and
I'll
reevaluate
read
what
it.
your software is doing.
Sure, I'll read it.
So,
So my
One
opinion
thing-
is that if Bitcoin mining is not a security,
Hold
because you're the one
on,
gener-
whoa, wait a minute. That's not true though, because I can
Listen.
download any Bitcoin miner that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's going to do any good because I don't have the technology here in my VR box to actually run it, but
Mm-hmm.
I can run any of that mining software and it doesn't cost me a penny to mine it or attempt to mine it other than the power that I'm putting into it here. But in order to try to mine a Hex or mint a Hex or however you want to say it, I have to run your smart contract or refer somebody to run that smart contract, and it costs Ethereum in order to run it, correct?
you only need to pay someone else to run the code that you chose.
All right, so this is no longer a debate about if it's a scam or not. This is if it's the Howey test, if it's a security or not. So I think they should change. They should change the title or something. My opinion, as of now, like I said, I'm neither pro Hex guy or an anti Hex guy. I'm just, I really don't give a shit. We have our own things. I got my own things going on, my own community of people to take care of. But yeah, I got to bounce. And yeah, it was fun with you guys. Congrats to the winner of $100. Yeah, this wasn't as fun as I thought it would be.